Pogo. Yeah, she. Well, yeah, compelling or even bringing together. What if she is bringing together deductos? The two of us. So what are we though? Yeah, right. But what is deductos? What is that expressing? What state are we in right now? We are again. Okay, so deductos again. What kind of participle? What tense and what voice? Perfect. It is perfect. And what voice? Excellent. Perfect. Exactly. And what voice is it? Okay. All right. Is anyone else? So is active or passive? The same exactly. You have one other choice. Right. Perfect passive participle, and so again, it's plural, and it's from deduco, deducora. It's from dis, sort of asunder plus duco. Sort of split apart, exactly. Split into different directions, if you will. So deducra. So what if Venus is bringing together? Understand us deductos again. Why is this actually masculine plural? Why wouldn't it be, say, feminine plural? This is masculine plural accusative, right?
Talking about.
It's actually plural. We're talking about both, but why is it masculine even though we're talking about a girl and a guy? It's what? Over here?
Because he's referring to himself and her, so he's using masculine for him.
All right, I'm sorry. Was there over here a comment as well?
I was saying that like the male is like more dominant and comes first.
Is dominant what?
It's like more dominant and comes first.
Is more dominant in the sense of? Can you elaborate on that? Okay, bring that further. Well, if you're talking grammatic in terms of grammar, so basically, if you have a male and a female, two folks, generally, it's the male grammatical form is going to dominate. It's going to be used over the feminine form. So you have a female and a male. The male form grammatically is going to be preferred. Same if you have a group. If you have a group of all women and say one man is in that group, in order to describe them, you're going to be using a masculine adjective or noun or whatnot. Again, adjective or participle or something like that. It's just the masculine form is preferred, right, over the feminine grammatically. Okay. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes, indeed, excellent. So again, what if Venus is compelling us, having been separated, right, led into different directions.
Question. I have a question.
Yes.
Adrian.
Oh, it was back to that
It's okay.
masculine feminine thing.
Yeah.
What if it was like a neuter and feminine? Would the feminine be more dominant over the neuter, or?
Right. So if you had a group of objects that were in, well, okay. There's a difference between grammatical gender and physical gender, male versus female humans, right? I'm right now we're talking about we're dealing with, of course, in this case, a male and a female person, right? It's physically a gender, and then we're kind of talking about how grammatical gender kind of goes along with it. So if you have a male and female, physically different genders, you're going to describe them, both of them. If you're talking about them as a whole, like the group of two as a whole, as we are in this case, you're going to describe them using a masculine adjective or participle or whatnot. So, but if you have, say, a group of if you have like a group of neuter objects or masculine objects described, generally it depends on the word positioning, it depends on word order. There's a lot more factors at play there, but again, here we're discussing grammatical gender versus. I mean, if that didn't make sense to everyone, just put it aside. But it kind of gets a little technical. We're dealing with grammatical gender versus physical gender, right? So does that sort of clear it up? Okay, I'm not sure exactly how to explain it in brief, but right. So the masculine is preferred when you have a group, even of all women and one man, basically. Okay, so let's go ahead and plot along, move along here. Again, compelled those separated with a eugo aineo. So she brought them together.
Yoke. Right?
Yeah, so with a yoke, and how's the yoke described? Anyone have? It's brazen or bronze, right, or brass, right? So so with the sort of brazen yoke, the yoke is very commonly yugam. It's actually what it comes from, neuter noun. It's very commonly used to describe the marriage, the bond of marriage. Okay, some kind of bond of love, bond of marriage. And so this is why the yoke is being described. It's metaphorically standing in for sort of the bond of marriage. Okay, so if this should be the case, if Venus of olden days should return, and if she is returning, and if she is bringing us together, who were once separated, under a bronze yoke, and then we get another C here. So C and their subjects flawa chloe excutitor. Yellow, they literally flawa, right? But what do we think flawa is referring to? Not like Chloe herself. Yeah, exactly. She is another blonde, right? And it seems to be a common theme arising here. So she and her looks are just now being described. We didn't really even get a physical appearance before this, which is also something interesting. So if blonde Chloe should be excutitor, you guys? Exactly. Exactly. So she should be shaken off when it's kind of put aside, right? The Yanua patet.
Hold on, just a minute. I got a question.
Yes, sorry.
It's kind of interesting that Chloe is blonde. How common would it be to find a blonde girl in Rome?
I'm
Because you would
trying to think.
that's more of a Northern European type.
Right. I would believe it actually would be rather rare. Would it not?
You had it. Helen's was supposedly blonde of the Trojan War, because that's mythology.
Right.
Alexander was supposed to have light-colored hair.
Right. Certainly had an exception.
So but more the exception.
Right.
Yeah, Kyra.
Did you say I don't know what year that they used to dye their hair red too? With
Well, certainly women had cosmetics, both for face and hair. There was some dyeing that would go on.
Right, usually to lighten the skin, they would put things on, for instance. But yellow.
You got to understand. There's a thing we used to read, and I don't know if we'll read this year or not, but when we got into some medieval Latin in third year, and a guy was talking about these people from the north who were called the Angles, as in Anglo-Saxon. And the word Angles, Angli, is very close to the Latin word Angeli, or angels. And he made the comment, he said, it's no wonder that they're called the Angli. And he says what sounds horrible to our ears, but he says, they've got this white skin and this blonde hair, and obviously they are angels. Now, here's the deal. For most of time, again, we're talking cross culture and across time, and in this country, and in all over, light was better for a very simple reason. It meant you didn't have to work. It meant you were upper class. This notion of getting tan or going to a tanning bed, nobody would understand that. Why on earth would you want to look like a common laborer? That's how it would have been perceived. If you have money, you can afford to be inside. Other people are doing the work, and so it's based on, if you want to think of it, it's really based on economics. It's based on labor issues. And that's what attaches then that premium to that which seems separate from outside day labor kind of. Adrian. What? Well, I mean, again, that's the idea is, wow, there's something different or special. Because here's the other thing you got to think about. Where are most people going to be? Outside. The majority of people are working for a living. You're working for your own family's food. You're going to be weather beaten. You're going to be sunburned. You're going to be all those kinds of things. And so, yeah, somebody who's particularly pale, like, wow, you're going to stand out because you're different from most everybody. Yeah.
Is that kind of like how way back when, like, being fat was more attractive?
Absolutely. Of course. Why would you want to be skinny? Why would you want to look like you couldn't eat? If I've got money, I'm going to stay inside. I'm going to eat to my heart's content. Right? I'm going to have good medical care, all these kinds of things. Well, why would I want to then look like a starving day laborer? You know? So nobody, I think, for a large part of the world and across time would understand our obsession with thinness and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions or comments? We move on.
He did on behalf of
Okay. All right. Let's kind of move a little bit more quickly. We're kind of running a little short on time. So last line here. So the Janua patet, the Janua rejectai Lydiae.
The door rejects Lydia.
Rejectai, again, what kind of participle? We had a lot of these already.
Perfect passive.
Perfect passive. So the doors of whom?
Of Lydia.
Of Lydia, who is rejectai. Who is rejected. Okay, so the doors of rejected Lydia, patet. Opposite, actually.
Open.
So yeah, they are open, right? They stand open. Pate from pateo. So basically, right. Again, so if Venus should return, if she should yoke us who had been separated, and if Chloe should be shaken off, then the literally the doors metaphorically of Lydia, who is rejected, are they stand open. Okay.
I gotta ask a question. All
right. Oh yes.
I gotta be honest. I'm intensely interested in how you all think because I know nothing of it. Okay. So I'm always interested in what I don't know. Right. Here's I'm interested in this experience. Have any of you ever had some guy, you broke up, you each maybe moved on, and then he wanted to get back together?
Nope.
Just kidding. I'm not asking you, dude. I'm asking the ladies. That's the ladies. Any ladies ever had the guy who wants to get back? That seems to be a okay. And I'm not asking you to share your stories or whatever. That's this. That's this. He's moved on, but he's like, no, wait a minute. However, if I were to dump her, would you be interested again? I mean, I'd dump her if you'd be open to it, and I don't know. It just strikes me as things don't change.
Right. Indeed.
Guys.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, we gotta finish it up.
We do. All
Sorry.
right.
You gotta finish it up.
Right. Exactly. And so how many? What minutes we're working with? Oh, we do. Okay. So again, let's move on. So let's get guys. We'll be scratching. So basically, even though Quam, we get her response. Even though Ile, that man, right, that her lover is Pulcrior Sidra.
More beautiful.
More beautiful, yeah, exactly. Than what? Sidra.
Than you.
Sidra's coming from. Think of sidereal. If you've ever heard that term. What is it referring to? The star, yes, exactly. Optimus. So, yes, more beautiful than a star, that man is. But you are levior cortice et improbo hadria. Or excuse me, et ira condir. You are what? You are literally lighter. We might say even more fickle. Like in levior, Lewis has a lot of different connotations. So you, however, are more fickle than what? Than corkwood, right? So or lighter. Well, again, sort of corkwood being light physically, but again, metaphorically.
And what did we say the other day about Grawis?
Grawis is good.
Lewis is bad.
Right.
Being a lightweight. right?
Exactly. So, and he's also described as iracundior. And get that? Yeah, prone to anger, prone to temper, we could say. Again, one of those, you have to translate more than one word, so prone to anger, right? Then the improbo hadria.
Then the bullying, Adria.
Bullying, yeah. Then the, sort of imprudent, misbehaving Adriatic, right? It's, the storms that occur, storms at sea, right? It's kind of making a reference to that, okay? However, even though all this is the case, tecum amem viura. I would literally love to live with you, right? And tecum ob eam lubens. So with you, what? With you, obeam. It's a very particular sense here, actually. Yeah, lubens desiring. You should want to do what willingly? Obeam from obeo of ira.
No, they don't know that word.
Oh, okay. So it's literally to sort of go out from, right? But in this sense, it's a very particular sense of to die. So she's basically saying even though you're light, you're kind of a lightweight, you're essentially lesser in the qualities that I admire than is my lover. I still want to live with you, and I want to love you. Okay, and I want to die for you. So you're gonna get that dying for another returning.
Hold on. Well, it sounds like what, Kyra?
What?
Make love, like, you know what I mean? I said fairy tale, but I just like fake love.
Oh, kind of fake. Okay.
I was really hoping that should be like, no, go away.
Right. How much time are we?
But 5 minutes. Again, here's the thing, and really, I think this is key to understanding all this stuff. You're talking about, it does sound fake. However, I'm going to use a different word. Artificial. Okay, not shallow. We use the word artificial for a reason. Okay? Artificial. What does that mean? Is that a synonym for fake?
Not natural.
Not natural? Okay. Artificial. Let's break it down. The fake part comes from what Latin verb? Facio, to make. Okay? Ars artis. To make with skill. Here's the deal.
Good afternoon,
Somebody say not
Mr.
natural.
Central. This is Mrs. Payne with a few final announcements before we go to the weekend. We'd like to first of all thank everyone who participated in the Pink Out fundraiser today. In fifth place, for the Music Mania, we had our wrestling team. In fourth place, our men's basketball team. In third place, our women's basketball team. In second place, our men's swimming and diving team. And the winner for today's Music Mania was the North Central Women's Swimming and Diving Team. All music today was brought to you by our swimming team. So once again, congratulations. Thank you to everyone who participated in this wonderful program that goes to the American Cancer Society. Also, speaking of these guys,
I think what it was there was 3 at the beginning of the year, but I think this was going down for a little bit, and then they put it back up. I don't like that. At the beginning of the year there were 3, but like last week there was and the Dutch actually put back up too.
We're good or poor? We're good.
We also have a very special event tonight, our Junior Spectacular. Tonight,